It may have taken me a while, but I've finally come around on Dunkirk. It's one of Nolan's best movies. I've had almost the exact same journey with Dunkirk that I had with Interstellar. At first, I thought it had some incredible moments that were dragged down by major flaws. The biggest one for me was Nolan's insistence on getting cute with the timeline and chopping up the movie that way. The first time I found it confusing, then once I understood it, I found it annoying. Now, I just accept it. And that's where Dunkirk and Interstellar overlap for me. I stopped focusing on the flaws and started appreciating what the movie actually is. A collection of incredible scenes filled with authentic emotion. Because at the end of the day, can't a great movie just be a bunch of great scenes? I'm not saying every movie should aspire to be a series of YouTube clips, but if a movie gives me 12 incredible scenes, does it really matter that they're not stitched together exactly the way I'd prefer? For Dunkirk, I've landed on no. There's just too much greatness here. Everything involving the planes is phenomenal. The cinematography is among the very best in Nolan's career, and I love the perspective those dogfights give us. If I had to pick a favorite part of the movie, it would probably be everything in the air. But I also love the civilian boats coming across the English Channel to rescue the soldiers. Dunkirk is the rare great movie that isn't really built around great characters. Honestly, it barely even has main characters at all. But if I had to pick one, it'd probably be Mark Rylance. He perfectly captures the bravery and quiet sense of duty that ordinary civilians displayed throughout the war. Acts of courage that are probably lost to history because they weren't performed by famous generals or decorated soldiers, but by regular people. That understated, almost common courage is also reflected in the dialogue, which is something I've really come to appreciate. There are no big speeches. Nobody's swapping emotional stories about life back home. There aren't many movie lines at all. That's pretty much the opposite of most Nolan films. And I actually love memorable movie dialogue, but here, keeping everything understated was exactly the right decision. Interstellar earns its emotion through music, dialogue, and huge performances. Dunkirk mostly does it through music alone. And even then, this score is much more restrained than Interstellar's. Nolan usually just lets the events speak for themselves. Tom Hardy barely has any dialogue, but watching him stay until the bitter end and then calmly set his plane on fire says more than a page of screenplay ever could. As I've gone back through Nolan's filmography, I think Dunkirk represents his biggest leap as a filmmaker. It feels like the movie where he pushed himself furthest outside his comfort zone, and the result is half a dozen of the best scenes he's ever directed. This one's going very close to the top.